I think you'll probably need to be in the top 8 to win the main final, so this is the last chance to get a good grid slot for the final. Points from the heats converted to grid positions in the final. You can work it out. Steve Brown in pole position, Jack Harding on grid 2, Tom Dix, Pete O'Connor, Dan Healy, Ian Blake, Stephen Docker, David Longman on row 4, Jonathan Listener, Stephen Hicks on row 5, Ed Bars, Joe Holmes, Jamie Crease, Brandon Williams. As we go down the field, the revs rising, but they're going to go round one more. I think we might be missing someone. I'm not sure that Jack Harding was on the front row or just occupying the space, but it looks fairly settled this time. I still haven't quite got enough power to... And they're going to go around again. I wonder if we might have an issue with timing and scoring. One more lap. Oh, it's a bit chilly at Buckmore, but the racing's keeping me warm. So we settle this time. I got a thumbs up there from Andy Cowell. So it's Steve Brown and it's Jay Elliott on the front row. As I suspected, Tom Dix, Jack Harding is on row 2, in fact. Dan Healy, Pete O'Connor on row 3, Stephen Docker, Ian Blake on row 4, Jonathan Listener and David Longman, I believe, are on row 5. Green light, we're racing at Buckmore Park, Elite Class Heat 3, and not surprisingly, Brown's got the whole shot, but he's backed them up and he's lost ground around the outside. Jay Elliott, can he pull it off? Well, yes, he can. Something very strange there with Steve Brown, trying to pick up a position from Pete O'Connor. I think he's got it done, but he's in third place, and this is looking good for Jay Elliott out front ahead of Jack Harding, Brown and O'Connor, Ian Blake, Jonathan Listener down into paddock. It's as you were. We got a group of 2 out front and a group of 4, and I think I saw Ian Blake going down the inside. No, it was Jonathan Listener down the inside of Ian Blake. Steve Hicks moves on to his bumper with Joe Holmes and Tom Dix, Matt Brooks, as they all filter through start-finish into Conways, down into hairpin 1, and it's Harding going for the lead. Now this plays into the hands of the group behind, a chance to close back in. Harding's got the lead for now. Elliott in second, and there's still a gap to O'Connor. Towing through Steve Brown, Jonathan Listener, Ian Blake, Joe Holmes, Hicks ahead of Tom Dix, Matt Brooks, Dan Healy going backwards, I'm afraid. But maybe he gets a spot back down at paddock. He's certainly had a shot. Has he got it done? I don't think he has. And it's Harding trying to make a break on Jay Elliott as Listener runs wide and falls into the clutches of Joe Holmes. Lap 2 in the books, and they're still jockeying for positions just outside the top 5, or around the top 5, but it's Harding now pulling clear of Jay Elliott under pressure from Pete O'Connor. I think Elliott's made a blistering start, but he's just found out that his kart's not quite pulling the way that Jack Harding's is. Pete O'Connor, Brown recovering, Blake, Listener, Holmes, and Steve Hicks would like to get across if he can. Across to Garda, and it's Listener down the inside and through, but he doesn't get it done. Oh, and Blake, he comes straight back at him, and it's handbags now, and Stephen Hicks and Joe Holmes will wade in with both feet as well, given half a chance. Listener stuck his nose down the inside of Blake, couldn't get it done. And I'm expecting Joe Holmes to throw it down the inside of the hairpin on John Listener, and he has. And Steve Brown is now in the mix, trying to recover from a disastrous start off pole position. That wasn't in the script. And it's Harding pulling clear of Elliott, coming under pressure now from Pete O'Connor. And he's not alone. Stephen Brown's moved on to the bumper, so whatever happened at turn 1, he's got his handle on it now and is back in the fight. He might be too late for the win, but he's certainly after third and then second position if it's on. A crucial final heat. Looks as though it could be pivotal when it comes to the grid. Hicks in 5th place, falling away from 4th position and under pressure from Ian Blake. Holmes not quite on his bumper, then it's Parveen Najjar ahead of Jonathan Listener. Dan Healy, Ed Bars and Tom Dix, and Dix looks like he wants to be by, but he'll have to follow Ed in his distinct black suit, lid with the green highlights in kart number 14. Another lap in the books. And it's... no, that's not right. My live timing is still all over the place. It's Jack Harding leading by nearly a second now from Jay Elliott. Steve Brown in 3rd place, ahead of Pete O'Connor. Big gap now to Hicks, Blake, Holmes, Najjar, Listener, Darren Healy, Tom Dix, Ed Bars, Jamie Crease, Tyler Mays having a quiet day in the elite class. And it still looks as though Jack Harding has got this 3rd heat under control. His lead is now out over a second. And indeed, it's no surprise because Jay Elliott has now got Steve Brown on his bumper and looking for a way by. So your front row is fighting over second place. Battle for 5th. It's still Hicks holding off Blake, Holmes, Parveen Najjar, Jonathan Listener, Dan Healy, Tom Dix. Waiting for him to come in shot, and it looks like Blake's picked off 5th place. He's got the inside for hairpin 2. Watch for Holmes to try and do the pair of them. What a move. Classic Club 100 at Buckmore Park action. And it's Holmes moving to the head of this group. And Blake's got to do it all over again. Down at paddock maybe. Not close enough. Holmes covers to Garda but doesn't do it convincingly. Blake sticks his nose in, allows Hicks in to make it 3 wide, and there's 3 wide behind. Hicks not happy being run out of it with Parveen Najjar. Harding has got this one under control, and I think Jay Elliott has perhaps, indeed he has, lost out to Brown somewhere else on circuit. We're sticking with the elbows that are out in this group behind, and it looks as though Holmes is stretching clear with John Listener in the battle for 5th. Ed Bars looking for a way by, can't get it done. I think that's Tyler Mays finally making some progress, but no sooner does he get by than he loses out to Jamie Crease and to James Hattersley as we move on to the final lap. And Jack Harding has got this one under control. The question is, can Steve Brown hang on to second place now as Jay Elliott fights manfully to get back on terms Gap then to Pete O'Connor, looking comfortable in 4th place but unable to challenge. Holmes is pulling clear in 5th ahead of Listener, Blake and Hicks. Gap then to Dan Healy in about 10th place. Out of the final proper corners, and it's Jack Harding winning Heat 3 ahead of Steve Brown and Jay Elliott. Pete O'Connor will be 4th. Joe Holmes is going to finish 5th ahead of John Listener, Ian Blake, Stephen Hicks, Dan Healy, and David Longman, I think, has come through to finish. No, it's Parveen Ajar finishing in 10th place.